going to make show you how to use codesandbox. This is new to me. We'll see how it goes. Let me fix this microphone. There we go. Alright, let's take a look. So I've logged into codesandbox.io. I've made an account, and there's some options over here. We're going to go ahead and use static. You can do all these kind of things over here, but right now we're not worried about that. Blah, blah, blah. Alright. Let's start. Alright, so over here they give you a few things, alright? They've got index.html, they've got a JSON package, which we're not worried about right now. We can get rid of that. Alright. I can't, let's leave it. Alright. So this stuff over here, we're not worried about. This stuff over here, JSON, we'll worry about that, you know, sometime far in the future. But right now, let's worry about this HTML over here. So here we've got, it's the plain HTML website. We've got our doc type HTML. We've got our HTML language equals English / HTML. We've got our head section with some metadata in it and a title. We've got a body with an H1 in it. So if I want to change stuff in here, I can put in, an H3 or whatever. Hello world. / Alright. And let's put in, like, I don't know, a paragraph underneath it. My name is Mr. Dave, and I'm glad to meet ya. Alright. Then if I hit Control S, that will save it. And here we got our updated thing over here. You can give it a name, for example. This one is going to be my navbar. That way it'll be easier to find. And then if you want, once your project is done, you'll click the share button over here, and you can just copy the sandbox link is what you want to do. And then when you're going to turn in your work, you just turn in that link right there. The hardest part to remember is Control S is going to go ahead and save your work. Now for your navigation bar, alright, you're going to have a few different HTML files to add in an HTML file over here. Alright, we've got a new directory, a new file. You could, for example, call it like news.html. Make a new one called, let's see, all the different HTML files that you're going to need. Sports.html, whatever your navigation bar is going to be about, that's fine. And then you can go to all these different things, right? Right now, index and sports don't have anything in them. Alright, so let's go to Google Classroom. Let's take a look at the instructions here. Web design. Navigation bar is where we're at. Let's look at the instructions. Alright. You don't actually have to use editing because we're going to use Code Sandbox. I seem to like it. Alright, so you're going to follow these simple instructions. First, let's get this into our thing over here. Alright, let's put this in our index page. Alright, we're going to get rid of this stuff over here. And paste that. Let's see. So this goes actually in the head. Up here. Alright, and then once this is done, you can go ahead and hit Control S. Right, now we've got some stuff over here. You see that we've got this little thing over here. This is from our font library over here. that we added into the head. Right? Font awesome min.css. Alright, and then this over here, our navigation bar. These are our links. The links don't go anywhere right now. Right now there's hashtag home, hashtag news, hashtag contact, hashtag about, whatever. You can change these to whatever it is you want them to be about. Alright. Now I'm going to add in some CSS. In order to do that, we have to link to our CSS. Alright. Link to CSS. I always forget that. In head. How to add CSS. Alright. So it's like this. Copy that. So link relationship to style sheet, and then href to whatever you're calling your CSS file. So let's go back over here. All right. Let's put that on right here. It doesn't matter. Inside the head. All right. I'm gonna call it my style. I'm gonna just call it style.css. And you have to actually make the style file. All right. Style. Oops, not stike. Style.css. Alrighty. Then you can go ahead and add some CSS. So this top part over here, add a black background color to the top navigation. This will style links inside the navigation bar. And you can change these things to whatever you like. You can style it on your own. Change the color of links on hover. Add an active class to highlight on the current page. Hide the link that you open and close the top nav on small screens. All right, let's just copy all this. Oops. Maybe. All right, let's paste this in our CSS. All right, let's save it. Control S. Let's save this. Control S. And now we've got, see that when I hover over these links, it highlights, right? And you see the green one is home. Over here, home, right here, has the active class. And our CSS, right? The active class, top nav. If it's a link that's in the top nav class and it's active, then it'll have this green background color. Right. I like this over here. Kind of gives you like a preview of what the color is going to look like. It's nice. So codesandbox is pretty cool as far as this kind of stuff goes. All right. So what's next? Alright, so this part over here, this is more CSS. So when the screen is less than 600 pixels wide, hide all links except for the first one, the home. Show the link that contains should open and close the top nav icon. Show the link that contains, I don't know how, this isn't proper English, doesn't sound like, but anyways, so this CSS over here, alright, will make it so that if our screen is less than 600 pixels wide, we'll go ahead and hide all the other links except for the home one. All right. And this over here, all right, adds the responsive class, right, to the top nav with JavaScript, which we haven't added yet. When the user clicks on the icon, so that little those three little lines, all right, it'll give us our drop-down menu. So let's copy this stuff over here. Let's add this to our CSS. All right, let's save that. Let's add in a new file. Let me see. All right, over here is what I'm looking at. Now we're going to add in some JavaScript. All right. So over here, we could put this between script tags. If you look over here, example. Down at the bottom, they have script and /script. Now you could make a separate JavaScript file for that if you wanted to. So keep on clicking all over different things. Let's go back to our index. All right. inside the body, underneath the div over here. Let's do script. Slash script. Alright. And let's paste the JavaScript that we got. Let's tab this all over. Oops. Make sure I indented this properly. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. I indented all that, so it actually looks like it's inside the script thing over here. Let's Control S on this. See if it works. All right. There we go. You see this will go all the way. It's a responsive navigation bar. The navigation bar changes, and once I get to less than 600 pixels wide, desktop disappears, and then this thing shows up. I click on this. There we go. Alright. So right now I have home, news, contact, about. Those are my 4 things, right? Home, news, contact, about. And I can change these to whatever I like. And over here I've made some HTML files. I made index, I made news, and I made sports. I can change the order of these, I think. Hopefully. Maybe not. It doesn't matter. I think up and down arrows. Let's click on this, right? Let's do up arrow. Nope, that's upload. Alright, I don't want to upload stuff into it. I'll figure out how to do the order later. Anyways, alright. So I've got index, news, and sports. Alright, so this is my home page, right? Index is the home page. Alright, we've got news. Let me just rename this to contact. And let's make one more. Good morning. And let's make one more. Let's make about.html. Alright. I guess it is alphabetical. That's fine. Alright. So here's my index page, right? And this will go to index.html. The actual home page over here. And right now this is my active class. Right. Now what I can do is I can copy all this. Alright. Let me see. Right now my title is static template. Let's call this home. Alright. Now let's go to my news was next. Alright. Let's copy all that. Let's paste all this. Alright. Let's go to index. Let's save this. Alright. Now let's go to what was the next? News. Alright, so let's give it, instead of calling it static template, let's call it news. Alright, let's change this to news.html. I probably should have done this first, right? And I'm going to change this to the active class. Alright, let's just do, let me see. Let me go back to the index page just to do all this, right? Let's do news.html, contact.html, and about.html. Great. Alright, let's save this. Alright, now let's go back to what was next? News.html. Alright, let's save this one. This one has the active class. Let me just change these. Your updates won't show up unless you save them. Alright, let's save this one. Control S. Alright, So let's copy all this, right? Let's go to contact. Right now it's empty. All right, let's change this from news, the title from news to contact. Let's change the active class to contact. All right, save that. Alrighty, then lastly we have about.html, right? So let's paste what we have. Whoops. No, not just that. I want the whole thing. Alright, let's go to about.html. Let's paste that. Alright, we'll give the title, instead of home, we'll call it about. And let's go ahead and we'll change the active class to about. Alright, let's save it. Let's just, alright. There we go. So now if I click on all these links, they'll take me to the different places, right? Maybe. Alright. So let's go back to index.html. Alright, let's save it. Now, the other thing we're now want to do is put in some actual content. Alright, so I've got my navigation bar. Whoops, did I break my CSS? Let me see. Let's go back to the index.html. Alright.
So Dave,
Good morning.
how are you?
Doing alright. My CSS not working. Let's download CSS. Let's go back to my index. Alright, let's hit refresh. It's not working.
Good morning.
My CSS not working. That's weird. Let's go to the about page. Maybe the about page will work. I don't know why it's not working. Well, whatever. So the last thing you would have to do is underneath your div, add in some extra content, right? You know, but I put in, you know, like a whatever your homepage is about. It's some kind of theme, all right? You can also go ahead and you can create a folder. You call it like images, and you can download pictures. I don't know, like let's do a tiger. Let's do a griffin. I don't know, this one? Sure. Save image as. Oh, it's a WebP file, won't work. Alright, this one's pretty cool. Save image as, maybe. No, another WebP file. There we go. We'll call this Griffin. I'm going to save it in my pictures folder. Alright, over here in my images, I'm going to go ahead and upload a picture. Alright, pictures. Let's find that Griffin. Alright, so I can put in here image source equals images .jpg. And then I can go ahead. I must have messed up because over here the script tag is. Oh no, never mind. This one's not open. Let's do alt text. All right, there we go. Let's save this. There we go. I got my picture of my Griffin over here. I still don't know why my CSS has stopped working. All right. Style sheet. This is this. Let's save this. That's fine. There's the picture. Let's save my style sheet. Let's save my index page. Alright, save this. Alright. See, these don't work. Well, I mean, this will take me to the home page over here, but I'm still not sure why Let's take a look in the browser. Let's run some tests. Alright, well let's copy the sandbox link. Let's see if we can get that one working at least. I'm not sure why my CSS stopped working. That's weird. Alright. Style.css. Alright. Let's rename it. Let's see if that does something. My style.css. Alright. And let's go to the index page. My style.css. Oops, not mount style. My style. Let's save it. Let's go back to the browser. Right. I don't know. For some reason, the link to the CSS stopped working. Let's go back to style.css. Alright, then I will break the link, right? And then let's go back over here and let's rename this back to style.css. Alright. And save it. I don't know, let's go back to mystyle.css. And over here, let's rename it. Let's save it. Alright, I don't know, for some reason style.css isn't working. So let's do let's go with mystyle.css, or whatever it is, as long as it's not style.css for some reason, I guess. That didn't work for whatever reason. So you just add in content on all your different pages. I mean, this is very basic. You can be as fancy as you want with it, but as long as if I click through all the different links, it should work. I got to fix all the links on there, so I have to go to about mystyle.css. All right, and it should work. So these all have to match. So these are all linking to the same CSS file, so they all have to match. News, it should be mystyle.css. Alright, there you go. Then you can share your work, copy the sandbox link, and you can turn this in. If I click on the different things, again, there's nothing, I don't have anything on news and content and about yet, but that's how you would do it. So the nice thing about this is you don't have to worry about linking to some external picture. You can just download whatever pictures you want, put them on there, that kind of stuff. So this is a really great tool. It's free to use. There are some cool features with the paid stuff, but I don't think it's really going to be anything that you're going to need as a student. So it's perfectly fine. If you're like a web developer and stuff like that, you know, obviously there are some different tools that you might be need access to, but You don't have to worry about that. All right, so go ahead and play around with this. See what kind of cool content you can put on your navigation bar. Again, you don't have to put in home, news, contact, and about. It could be whatever, right? So obviously you would change these things over here. I'll give it a shot, and I look forward to see what you put out there for me.